Welcome to the best Psylocke guide on YouTube. What makes this the best Psylocke guide on YouTube? Because I said so, and that's all that matters. What makes me qualified to teach you how to play Psylocke? That's my qualification right there. If you need any more further proof about me being qualified to teach you about Psylocke, look at me, I'm wearing the bikini skin. That means I'm good enough to play her with one hand. Now, what's interesting to know about Psylocke is that she basically just has a shotgun. It's not really like a Punisher shotgun. It's like, think of the OG Fortnite combat shotgun, the John Wick shotgun, if you know what that is. It's like a weak shotgun, but like, it's a shotgun, purpose. So you can get right up and close to the enemy, you can just insta-delete them. Psylocke focuses in a lot of burst damage to insta-kill the enemy. Now, I've been talking a lot about divers and how Psylocke compares to the other divers, but I want to get one thing clear. Psylocke does not have to be a diver. She can 100% be used as a diver. That's how I play her, because it's the most fun one. I like killing stuff and I have ADHD. If you can't tell by how I'm speaking in this video, I just drank a bunch of energy, so I'm hyped on energy. But Psylocke, one of the things I love about Psylocke is that she can basically be used in any comp. That's brawl, poke, dive. If you don't know what brawl, poke, dive is, I'm not explaining it because it'll probably just confuse you. All you have to know is that it depends on the heroes that you pick, and it complements your teammates' picks if you help the team by picking heroes in that section. Go look up a guide on team comps. Like, someone will explain it to you. It's really in-depth. I'll have to make a whole other video if I wanted to explain it to you right now. Now, back onto Psylocke's actual combo. Her combo is basically just shooting the enemy until they die. You get up nice and close to them, or as close as you can, let's say like here, and you delete them. I can't really like add in the dash at the end because it's 250 health and I haven't missed a shot on them because they're standing still, but let me do that in slow motion right now. I know I'm speaking in fast motion because yes, I am hyped on sugar right now. 2 shoots, shuriken in, shuriken out. That'll give you up to 300 health, so a little bit of bonus shield to help you. 2 more shoots, and then you should ideally finish it off with a dash. You can finish it off with another shot. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, if you only have 1 dash left, I would actually recommend finishing off with another shot because then you can use your dash to escape. One thing that you want to know for Psylocke, you always want either your invisibility or a dash, or ideally one of each, to escape the enemy. Because if you get the kill and you die, it doesn't really help the team too much, especially if the enemy spawn is closer. It is totally worth trading for support though. Now, what you need to know about Psylocke's dash, it's a movement ability, it's your main movement ability. All of Psylocke's attack, like, I can't show you because I have cooldowns off, but imagine I use my dash and then I hit the enemy. The more I hit the enemy, it regens. As I do damage to the enemy, it regens her abilities. Now, something that you need to know about Psylocke's dash is that it can go through people and do it. This isn't too big of a deal, but if you have an enemy group, why am I stuttering? I hate this. Let me retake that. Okay? Psylocke's dash, go through. If you have a teammate, that's not a big deal. Fuck, why am I stuttering so much? Not a big deal. Teammate groups them all up. If he gets like 3 people, 150 damage, 150 damage. You can shoot the rest. This is me editing the video right now. Basically what I'm trying to say, if you can't understand my sugar-crazed explanation, is that if you dash through like a bunch of CC'd enemies and like a Grudo, you'll do damage to all of them at the same time. So it's really good to do that. Now, onto your shurikens. Now, your shuriken's a bit interesting. It's like a more powerful version of this, like a left click. It complements it in a way. Now, the first thing that shurikens do is it gives you healing whenever you hit someone with it. So if you hit all of them on someone, you're going to get a lot of heals. It only does this on the way in, not the way out. I lied. It doesn't, okay. It does do it on the way out, but it doesn't always do it on the way out. I'll show you what I mean. You put it in 300 overshield, I take it out, it does damage. It doesn't heal you on the way out. But if I put it in, I get overshield, I miss some. I hover my cursor over an enemy, it hits them on the way out, it gives me overshield for their hit. Your shuriken can hit people on the way out. So let's say I do this, I look at the enemy, it goes and hits them. Your shuriken will go back out wherever your crosshair is. So let's say you miss the enemy, you can aim your crosshair on the enemy. When you re-click it again, or when it just like auto goes out, it will go past them and hit them. Ideally, your shuriken is probably one of like your most crucial part of your like combo that I did from earlier, that thing. It was on half health, so I couldn't really do it. You want to make sure that you hit the shuriken. If you hit the shuriken, it increases the chance of you getting the kill by a lot. Now, something else interesting about your shuriken, shurikens can be retrieved by either you clicking it, their timer running out, which I'm not going to wait, or just a dash. If you dash, the shurikens will do their damage. So we're gonna go double tap, like not double tap, but like let the thing go out 2 of those hits. Then just 1 click with the shuriken, not a double click like this with that combo. Just 1 click. So 2 hits, 1 click, 2 hits, and then a dash. A normal dash wouldn't be enough to kill it, but since you did it with the shurikens inside, the shurikens retrieved back into you and out of her, which does damage. Now I'm gonna be real, this isn't that better. Like when I say it's better than the shuriken retrieve, it's more so of like a high-end top 500 player would be like, yes, actually this saves 0.2 seconds and it helps get your kill faster. That's all bullshit. It's like slightly faster and you just have to forget about like actually double clicking your right click. Do whatever you want. I'm just setting this as an option. If you want to build a good habit by making that go 0.2 seconds faster than your normal combo, then you can do that. By all means, I'm just telling you that the option's out there, so you're not building a bad habit if you really care about it. Hey, this is me editing it as well. In this where I was like full on sugar, I just straight up didn't talk about the invisibility. That's probably because the invisibility doesn't really have stuff to talk about. All you have to know is that it makes you invis with a speed boost for 2 seconds. If you get shot in there, then you're basically exposed. You get shown and you're no longer invisible if you get shot. You're like flash purple. And now finally her ult. Now first thing about her ult is that during that bit where she stands around at like the start and does her like little flip and her magic sword does her thing, you can be CC'd out of that. That's like a Bucky dash, like uppercut, spider web, a Spider-Man pull, snowball. You can be CC'd and it will send you back to 50 ult points. How do you get around this? Well, it's with your dash. You can dash up into the sky and you can do this. Your dash does recover in your ult, but it only recovers around like 3/4 of the way. So if you do only have 1 dash, I would actually advise against it because then you won't have any dashes to like actually escape after your ult. And you are kind of like, after I cancel your ult, you do have that like little sword going back animation where I can't like shoot anything for like half a second. So if you are in a higher rank, this might be a bit more punishing. Now, if you don't want to use a dash, I can't. Why am I stuttering so much? Fuck me. If you don't want to use a dash, you can always just like surprise the enemy from like the backside and go like this. It is totally okay to just kind of like ult straight away. You shouldn't always just ult in front of the enemy, but if you have to, you can. But you should really be looking for stuff like this where you can go on top of that. Your dash is key for your ult. Now, for the ideals of your ult, you want 2 squishies, 2 healers in them. Ideally, you want 2 healers, a healer and a DPS also work, 2 DPS also work. You just don't want to tank it. The reason for this is because your ult, it cycles through the people in there. If there's like 7 people in here, or like, that's not going to happen. If there's like 4 people in there, it will individually hit them all at a time. And it won't do anything. That's why you want 2, because 2 is kind of like the sweet spot. If you want to, you can totally just solo ult a healer and then get out of there. That's 100% worth it, depending on the fight. It might be less worth it, but it's definitely worth it, trust me. Alright, now we've got to the more complicated part of the guide. Now that you know how Psylocke's kit works, he's the reason why she's 5 stars. Honestly, she doesn't deserve 5 stars. She's more like a 4-star character in my mind, and it's all because of this. She is very dependent on being in the right position at the right time. Whether that's flanking, diving, taking an off angle, she's mainly a flanker. So I'm going to show you how to play her like a flanker and take off angles. First of all, this is a practice versus, like, not a practice versus AI, it's an AI game. So everyone except for me, even on my team, is an AI. So it might look a little bit scuffed, they might not be that smart. But this is the example of an off angle. I'm on the side, it's a lot harder to deal with me. If they were real people, they'd have to actually, like, put an effort to get me away. I am playing a lot more, like, less serious in this game because I'm just trying to, like, get it over with, and I'm taking a bit more risk because I know it won't be punished because they're AIs. Okay, this is editing me again. The voice that you heard during this gameplay was also edited in, but I was just repeating what I said because it wasn't clear through the mic. But I literally just rant on in my sugar-crazed rampage guide thing, and I died to that Moon Idol about just what an off angle is and which position you should be on Psylocke. Spoiler alert, I say the same thing like 20 times because I just reinstate it. An off angle is an angle, ideally on like an off angle. Imagine you have a channel, straight line, your teammates are going through one way to fight the enemy, which is on the other way. You want to be on like the left or right side of that line. attacking them, ideally on the high ground. Doing this makes you harder to hit and harder to actually focus on buddy enemies, and if an enemy ends up chasing you, they're isolating themselves from their team, so you can go and try to kill them. This part has nothing to do with the guide, but I just thought I'd share this little, like, Jeff clip. Just so you guys know, NetEase actually trains these bots off of the people who play them, so just let that sink in for a moment. Now, actually going back to the video, I'm just gonna be real. There's nothing else to really say. Like, that's how you play the character. You go on off angles, you do that. This guide was never meant to be something like super in detail. It's just meant to get you started to actually play the character. And if I go any further, it will just kind of overwhelm you and you won't be ready for that information yet. This is meant for like an actual Psylocke beginner. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the video, subscribe anyway. Your opinion doesn't matter.